What led to the transaction with Fick and Amendola?
Well, I think that Sam did a great job for us. He really did. He came in, a year or two ago and got us out of a pinch, and that's exactly what we needed. I think the whole building just thought it was time to try, to get a guy in here and another young leg to compete for the job. I mean, that's what it all comes down to be honest with you.
How is that competition? I know it's only a few days, but
it's good. It's good. We'll see how it progresses through the preseason games, and that's what matters. We all know that. See how they kick in competition and stuff. They're both very talented kids, both with big legs, and we'll see what happens when when it counts when we put the pads on for real in the games.
You only see obviously what goes on for a limited amount of time out here. Can you just let us in on how you go about evaluating these guys in a competition like this, kind of away from practice?
I think you like to see how they respond. If they miss a kick and can they rebound and make 4 in a row. If the guy in front of them bangs a long kick and can they match that kick. And so you like to see the competitiveness and everything. But I also like to see how they interact with the guys and how their rapport with the other fellows, because they got to fit in. And that's a big thing in our room. So we got a bunch of good young guys that are really good people, and both these guys they're on point and they're competing, and that's all I can ask them to do.
We talked to the last time we talked to you, you had spoken about Michael and Elijah kind of learning how to field punts and learning how to field kicks and kind of judge balls. Neither of them did that too much in college. How do you believe they've come along in that regard?
I think they've worked their butts off. They really have. They've made some big strides in tracking and catching, and I think those two will be in the mix. There's a couple other guys, obviously, and we'll see once we get into the games. And it's so early to tell what they're gonna, are they gonna make great decisions and hold on to the ball and all that stuff. And when people start thumping you and putting you on the ground and stripping the ball and everything, that's a lot different. And I want to see how those guys react, and can they make those decisions. And just like the drill we did today, can they make those good decisions when they're backed up? Can they go block when they're supposed to block as a returner? Or can they go up and fair catch and make those decisions? That's what you look for. So.
You obviously have a really young team. I'm kind of curious when it comes to you and what you have to do, how difficult that dynamic is when you don't have as many returners, not kick returners, but returning guys in your units. What's the challenge there? Is it more teaching? Is it, what?
Well,
how does that affect you?
It's always a challenge. It's a good question. It's always a challenge, every year. But specifically when you have, a ton of young guys and everything, they just haven't been in the double teams. They haven't been in the single blocks. They haven't done the things that I'm going to ask them to do. And so the only thing that gets you better in this league is repetition. And the more they do it, the more they get out there, the more I can put them in those situations, just like we're trying to do with punt, just like we're trying to do with punt return, all that stuff, the more they learn. They learn what works, what don't work, instead of me just showing them on film. So I think they're all making strides. It's a great rookie class all these young kids are working hard. You just don't have the veteran guys that have done it before, if that answers your question.
One thing I don't think we've seen before is on the punt returns, the broom waving. Was that Leon's idea? Was it your idea?
No, it was a collaboration of all of us. I think it's always good to start messing with their vision and start tapping them and everything. Anything that can get them, off a little bit. I think it's always good to get them uncomfortable, and that's what we're trying to do back there. And anytime we throw those balls, the big ball or whatever it is, it's like simulating a guy shooting at your legs, and they have to cut back, and when they stretch and cut and things like that, things they'll be doing in the game.
What has Leon brought to the table for you?
He's an awesome guy. He does really well. He's really helped the returners with learning how to catch and learning tracks and things like that. He's done a nice job since he's been here. Great person too.
How much of a help is that? That he is. He's been there and done that. So a lot of coaches haven't done it. He's older than these guys, so they probably don't really know who he was. So it's
right.
But how much is that a factor for you?
I think players understand who he is, and any player that has or any coach that has played, I think has a little bit of, I don't even know what you call it. They know you've been there and you've done that, and they know that when you're telling them something, I think they truly know that, like, that's stuff that really worked or it didn't work, and you wouldn't teach the stuff that didn't work for you, right? And so, a guy like Leon and his experience and and going to multiple Pro Bowls and everything. I don't think he's an outstanding person as well. He's done a great job in fitting in, and really high hopes for that guy. He's done a nice job.
In 7 months now, you've been working with Robert. What stands out to you about his coaching style?
I think he is an ultra smart. I really truly do think he's an ultra smart, high energy individual that anybody would want to follow. I'll leave it at that. I think he's going to do an outstanding job.
Maybe this is selective perception, but it doesn't seem like you're screaming or yelling as much down there. Have you gotten subdued at all?
No. Like, we have a really young group. Where last year I had a veteran group that, in my opinion, should know better, right? Okay, so when they've been here a couple of years, I don't have as much patience as if guys haven't been here, right? And so, you try to bring them along in baby steps, so to speak, and that's what we're trying to do. So
You don't want to scare him right away.
I don't want to scare them too bad right away.
Is Hardy everything you thought he would be?
Absolutely, yeah. He's done a nice job. I mean, you know what the thing is about him is you can put on any practice, any rep, and he's going. Even though I asked him to cover 20, he's going full speed all the way down the returner. He's taking a leadership role. He practices like that, not because he's trying to show who he is or anything like that. That's why he's made it, and that's why he's gotten so good, is because he practices like he plays every time.
How's man punting?
He's doing a nice job. Really improved, I think. He's going to do a nice job this year, I think.